Can buyers contract away their right to sue a seller for fraud? What if the sales contract contains a provision expressly stating that the buyer isn't relying on any of the seller's representations? We explore those questions in Snyder versus Lovercheck. O.W. and Margaret Lovercheck owned a wheat farm. Loren Snyder was interested in buying a wheat farm. Accordingly, Snyder's real estate agent contacted Ron Lovercheck of Bear Mountain Land Company and inquired about the Loverchecks farm. Ron later gave Snyder a tour of the property. At the time, the crops hadn't yet come up. Ron told Snyder that the farm had previously had a rye problem. The presence of rye in a wheat crop reduces the harvest's quality and makes the wheat less desirable to some buyers. Ron told Snyder that he believed the rye problem was minimal. Based on this conversation, Snyder thought that the rye problem was limited to approximately 100 acres of the nearly 2,000-acre farm. Ron later told Snyder that he'd spoken with the farm's former owner, who also believed the rye problem was manageable. Snyder viewed the property approximately 10 additional times before deciding whether to move forward. Ultimately, Snyder contracted to buy the Loverchecks farm. The sales contract expressly provided that Snyder wasn't relying on any representations by the Loverchecks or their agents in deciding to purchase the farm. It also contained a merger clause. When the crops came up, Snyder learned that the rye problem was much more severe than Ron had indicated. Rye was present on most of the farm. Over 1/3 of the affected acreage was fully infested with rye. Snyder sued Ron and the Loverchecks, whom we'll collectively refer to as the Loverchecks. Among other things, he alleged that the Loverchecks fraudulently misrepresented the seriousness of the rye infestation. The trial court granted the Loverchecks' motion for summary judgment and held that Snyder couldn't assert reliance on the Loverchecks' pre-contractual misrepresentations. Snyder appealed to the Wyoming Supreme Court.